Welcome back, Mr. Ramurthy. You had introduced a plan to ask residents to use grey water, that is recycled water, which is not potable but can be used for watering plants, cleaning cars, etc. Is the plan working well? On this, I have a question from one Divya. She says in most of the developed cities in the world, high quality water is used only for human consumption, and grey water becomes the only standard for other uses, including industrial. Why have we not made any effort to pass a legislation in this regard in the city? Why is normal drinking water used for non-consumption chores like washing cars, cleaning instruments, etc.?
No, it's a very important issue, I would say. And as I said earlier, this is one of our methods of meeting the shortage of water. Not that you are into it, of course, not that you are not active about it. But what has happened so far is because population was not so much, and water was coming, nobody paid so much attention to use of wastewater. Now it is picking up now. For example, in Bangalore city itself, we have 14 sewage treatment plants, out of which in the 4 treatment plants we are producing tertiary treated water. Means our wastewater that is being produced in the city, we are now treating it to primary treatment. Next is the secondary treatment. So far is only secondary treatment. Now we are going to the next higher level called tertiary treatment of water. With the tertiary treated water at 4 places that we are producing the water a quality of which is suitable for all purpose except for drinking purpose.
Okay.
So that could be used for industry, it could be used for various other purposes. So for example, that is being used also now. For example, we are giving it to BEL. We are going to International Airport, we are giving this treated wastewater. Then we are going to Wheel and Axle plant. Some construction people are taking, some textile mills are taking. Now Lalbagh and Cubbon Park kept green throughout the year 365 days because of our treated wastewater which is being used. So it is not that we are not using this thing. The effort is on.
But is there a mindset among residents to use that water?
No, I don't
They feel, oh, it is from there, why should we use it?
No, I don't think it is so. As long as it is not for drinking purpose. I don't think there is
But
any...
how do you supply? You have an alternate water supply pipes?
No, one thing. So this treated wastewater is not being supplied to individual houses. No, whatever that is being treated wastewater, that's tertiary treated water is being produced in the STPs, is given through a pipeline to international airports, some of the industries and all, not to the individual houses.
Okay.
That system is not there right now. Now the person is talking about
Divya
is talking about it in developed countries. Yes, what happens in the developed countries is when they form the layout, when they construct the house, then when the whole system is laid out to take out the grey water, put a different line to take that grey water, and the plumbing is also done in such a way that water is used.
So 2 types
today it's called dual pipeline system. But where do you do that? Today it is very difficult to do it in the established area.
But the new apartments, we can make it
That
compulsory.
is done. We have made it compulsory for the new apartments.
So new apartments that are coming up now should have this dual pipes.
Definitely. That is one of the conditions that we lay for giving the connections. More than 50 apartments, they have to put up STP for their own use, and they have to put up a dual pipeline.
How to distinguish the 2 pipes? We hope maybe sometime we may go wrong.
Yeah, different colors are used.
Do you color the water also?
No. Color
the pipes.
Color the pipes. So going in that blue pipe means you should know there is this kind of a water and all. So by a different color, yes, there is a color. But now what BWSSB is doing is using the treated wastewater for industrial and other purposes. And is a very important thing that she has also raised. Now new layouts are coming, BDA layouts are coming. New private layouts are also coming, being approved by the BDA. I am also on the BDA board and also on some of those committees. So what we insist is that unless in the new layout, whether it is BDA or private, unless they show us the plan for dual pipeline and a STP, that layout plan is not approved at all. They have to show us in the plan. Only after that it is approved. Then once the layout is done, and I think BDA before it releases the site, because they have to come to BDA for release of site. So we would see whether those facilities are being set up. Only if they are set up, then only those
Only
sites
you give the approval, clearance.
So that we are doing now. But doing it in the old core area is very difficult because suppose in the road we have so many pipelines. Bringing another pipeline is very difficult. We have got sewerage pipeline, we have got the water pipeline, we have got electricity cable, we have got other cables and BSNL and so many. There is no space to bring another pipeline and give it to the individual houses. But as you rightly said, in the new apartments, in the new layout especially. It's very, you can very easily do it. In fact,
But it is mandatory.
It is mandatory. Otherwise, you will not give water supply at all.
That's good. What about rain harvesting? You made it compulsory. Has the entire Bangalore obeyed your command? And has it helped BWSSB in any way?
Now, of course, 2-3 questions you asked, but I would come to that. Rainwater harvesting is another method of meeting the shortage of water. I said, first thing I said, bringing water from outside as much as possible. Secondly, using the treated water so that there is less pressure on the potable water. And water conservation, because rainwater that is being received in Bangalore, we receive about 1000 mm of water every year. So precious water could be, there is a possibility for saving. So we brought an amendment to the act and making it compulsory that they should do it. And it is only about 30-40 site and above, because a very smaller site probably they will have problem. To begin with, you said 30-40 site and above, they should implement this thing. Otherwise, you will not give water supply connection at all. So we are that very strictly we have been enforcing it. And even in the existing building, if it is 60-40 and above, 60-40 site and above, they have to put up. In fact, as you said, there has been no resistance for imposing rainwater harvesting. I should thank the Bangaloreans. They've been very forward looking and all that. Nobody has said that rainwater harvesting is bad, we will not do, why should you insist, why are you enforcing and all that. Everybody realizes the importance of rainwater harvesting, and more than 27,000 houses they've already put up after our making it mandatory. More than 27,000 houses have already put up the rainwater harvesting system. So people have welcomed it and they are interested in doing it. Then, but what have we done? We have given the kind of facilities for people to put up the rainwater harvesting. What are the facilities required? So we have put up a help desk for any people to ring up that number to find out what is rainwater harvesting and all that. Okay, and people would ask,
What is the number we can?
I'll give you. There are 3 numbers.
I want people to.
I'll give that number. And this call center is there right now.
Even they take